Name so much to talk about represents this show. That is for sure. There is so much to talk about, literally and figuratively. Now here we go with the rest of the mid-major and smaller conferences, their representatives for the NCAA tournament. The Mid-Eastern Atlantic Conference, you have the Hampton Pirates. They will represent the MEAC. I remember Hampton a long time ago, they defeated Iowa State back in the day when Iowa State was a 2 seed and they were a 15 seed. That was in 2001. Wow, time flies, that's for sure. But anyway, this is a different team, obviously. And they have a lot of talent coming back, even though they lost their leading scorer, Rashard West. What's really interesting about this team, they have great overall balance, and they're led by guard Vincent Simpson and forward Michael Freeman, and they play defense. They only gave up 62.6 points per game last season. So they know how to really put the lockdown on you, and that will help them be able to get out of the MEAC. The Northeast Conference, the NEC, Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers. They have 4 starters returning back to this NCAA tournament team, and they're led by junior guard Jeremy Good, who led the team in points, assists, and steals. Plenty of experience as well with forwards Will Holland and Marcus Mitchell, and they're continuing the wonderful legacy of Jim Phelan as well. So Mount St. Mary's, great tradition there. You have the OVC, the Ohio Valley Conference, and Tennessee Martin, the Skyhawks. Let me tell you about Lester Hudson. This guy is definitely one of the most versatile players in the nation. Let me rephrase that. He's one of the best players in college basketball, all college basketball. He had a quadruple double last season, and he averaged 25.7 points, 2.8 steals, and 3.8 threes a game. He could have been an NBA draft pick, but he decided to come back to school so he can raise his stock to possibly be a first-round pick. Because let me tell you, if George Hill could be a first-round pick, Lester Hudson can. This guy is big. He's quick. He definitely has an NBA body, and he's ready for the league. He has another potent teammate in Marcus Weddle. Him and Hudson combined for 42.8 points a game. That's the highest scoring tandem in the entire nation. This team can score inside and outside. And inside, they have a nice size in the paint with Dominique Mpondo and Eric Sleepy Massey. Now, Mpondo is 6'11", and Massey 6'9". So they're a dangerous squad that can put up points any which way. And I would not be surprised if they got by the first round in the NCAAs. Like, whoever plays them will be upset. It depends on who it is, but this team is ready to be possibly a Cinderella team in the NCAA tournament. The Patriot League, the American Eagles, you know, their backcourt, both their guards are sub 6 feet tall, Garrison Carr and Derek Mercer, but they are a load when it comes to experience and quickness. They'll be able to get out the Patriot League, you know, with the backcourt being that short, but in the NCAAs, I don't know about that. We'll see. But Bryce Simon and Brian Gilmore anchor a good front court, and they have 6 of their top 7 players returning from their NCAA tournament team. So they'll be back once again this year. Let me talk about the Davidson Wildcats of the Southern Conference. Stephen Curry, Player of the Year candidate, All-American candidate. He's already the leading scorer this year in the NCAAs. He led Davidson almost this close to the Final Four. And just what a run they had in defeating Gonzaga in the first round, Georgetown in the second round, and destroying Wisconsin in the Sweet 16 and losing by 2 points to Kansas, and they weren't able to get off that last shot. But anyway, Davidson is just a solid team, and Coach Billy McKillop, I mean, I'm surprised he's not coaching anywhere else. Great coach who led them to win all 23 of their Southern Conference games. They were 20-0 in the regular season, then they won 3 games to win the conference tournament. And also, what makes Davidson great, they have a great front court of Andrew Lovedale and Steve Rossiter, very rugged inside. Losing point guard Jason Richards, who led the NCAAs in assists last year, is going to be tough, but Stephen Curry is going to use that opportunity to run the point, and that will help his NBA draft stock. I think they will get an at-large bid even if they lose. If they lose in their conference tournament, which I see unlikely, but if it happens, they will still get an at-large berth because of their schedule, their non-conference schedule, and their run in the NCAA tournament last year. The Southland Conference, Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks. Now, they have wing players Josh Alexander and Matt Kinsley, I mean, the offensive weaponry between the two is potent, and they're both Southland Player of the Year favorites. And they have 4 returning starters coming back, along with a great recruiting class. Coach Danny Casper has really done a great job with this program. They will definitely unseat the defending NCAA representatives in Texas Arlington. The SWAC, Southwestern Athletic Conference. You have Alabama State. What a backcourt with SWAC Player of the Year candidate Andrew Hales and Brandon Brooks. They have a deep team. They won the regular season title last year and almost defeated Arizona in the postseason NIT. So they already have the regular season title from last year. All they have to do is win the tournament, and they will play with a heavy heart this year. They will play dedicating this season to teammate Deshaun Porsche, who collapsed and died during the pickup game in April. So rest in peace to Deshaun Porsche. And the Hornets will definitely play in his memory, and I see them making the NCAA tournament. The Summit League, you have North Dakota State Bison, senior duo of Ben Woodside and Brett Wickelman. Now Woodside is a shooting guard, and Wickelman is their wing forward. They will wreak havoc on the rest of the Summit League. They scored 40 points a game last year. This is their first season as a full-fledged Division I member. It's their first season in the Summit League. And let me tell you, the coach Sal Phillips, the experience of 5 returning starters, he'll definitely get them to the NCAAs. And Woodside, another thing, Woodside will be the all-time leading scorer for the Bison by the end of the season. He's had a prolific career for them. Sun Belt Conference, you have Middle Tennessee State, the Blue Raiders. Now, they have all 5 starters returning to the same team that defeated South Alabama. South Alabama was an at-large bid last year because of their great non-conference schedule and gave Sweet 16 member Western Kentucky hell in the finals before finally losing to Western Kentucky. But this team, with the experience of that tournament, really, that's going to help them really be able to win the tournament, number one, and also they'll win the regular season title as well. They're the most deep team in the Sun Belt, and they have a 6'7" power forward. Desmond Yates has great combination of brute strength and offensive finesse, and also senior guard Kevin Kanaski is the glue for that team. They're going to help the Blue Raiders excel in the Sun Belt. Remember, they can upset someone in the NCAAs in the first round, so I would not want to play Middle Tennessee State either. WAC Conference, the Western Athletic Conference. This conference, it's taken a little bit of a hit this year. A lot of players have moved on. The Nevada Wolfpack will make the NCAA tournament once again. They have a great lineage of players who have come out over the past 4 years that have contributed heavily in the NBA. You have Kurt Schneider, Nick Fazekas, Ramon Sessions, JaVale McGee, and Marcellus Kemp. And pretty much Marcellus Kemp isn't in the league, but the previous 4, the first 4 that I mentioned, they've done decent things in the NBA. Nevada will continue that tradition with the backcourt of Amon Johnson and Brandon Fields. Great recruiting class with, one of the best recruiting classes for any mid-major school. They have former Indiana forward Joey Shaw, as well as top-notch recruit Luke Babbitt, who committed to Ohio State initially. He's from Reno, but decided to stay home at Nevada. And they will provide a lot of production inside. And Coach Mark Fox has done a great job maintaining greatness in that program in the WAC. And like I said, Nevada should be able to make the NCAA tournament with a little bit of a down year at the WAC, but Nevada should be able to gel as the season goes on. So that concludes the mid-major smaller conference preview for the teams that will represent each of those conferences in the NCAA tournament.